Warning: the author of this story has tagged it with the following explicit tags. Sex. Listener discretion is advised. Hello everyone, welcome to Rainbow Infinity. Today I'll be reading Sparkling Twilight's Librarians Know. If you like the reading, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Please enjoy. Librarians know. Most don't tell. Sugarbelle trots into the library with a happy smile on her face and checks out some books. Hello, Twilight greets her. Congratulations on your marriage to Big Mac. Thank you, Sugarbelle comments. I admit, I am surprised you are still running this library, given your new duties. Princess Twilight blushes. I really shouldn't, but I like to keep my hoof in. Sugarbelle smiles. Then I'm lucky to see you. Twilight confirms the checkouts, reciting their titles under her breath. Making marriage work, creating a welcoming home for foals, and dealing with difficult in-laws. Then she offers, May I make a recommendation? Sugarbelle frowns. Okay. If you are checking out, Twilight clocks the room to see if any other pony is grazing books nearby. None appear to be browsing, but she still lowers her voice. Books concerning somewhat personal topics. Might I suggest Booth Westrider's book on Understanding Bodies? It's in the restricted section. I noticed you didn't go back there. Way back there. Behind the hanging beads, and the caution tape, and the age klaxon alarm spells. Sugarbelle takes a step back. Whoa, please, don't worry. Twilight raises her hooves in a calming gesture. We take great pride in preserving our patron's confidentiality. The alarm simply will not accidentally trigger and announce your visit to the entire building. Unless you were born on a leap day. Who would have thought to test that? Twilight swallows with a loud gulp. Anyways, I found it really fascinating since Celestia simply did not cover those topics in private tutoring sessions, so puberty came as a surprise. I mean, I had seen naughty art, but I never knew some real secrets about my body, and certainly very little about pleasure and conception and... Oh no, Sugarbelle forces a grin. I know plenty about intercourse. You know, because of the cult village. But there weren't any children? Twilight frowns. Sugarbelle looks to a side. We had solutions. Then she shrugs. I don't need those sort of books. Very well. Twilight smiles a professional smile again. I wanted you to know we have an adult section. If you ever need it, just go to our rear. Sugarbelle raises an eyebrow, to which Twilight is oblivious. Even if you don't need it for necessity, Twilight continues, all rapid patter, it can also be useful for recreation. Personal recreation. She blushes and stammers. I mean, there are some spicy romances. I'll keep it in mind, Sugarbelle says. Spike? Twilight asks. Yes, her assistant says, noting in a directory the return of a book. Is this Big Mac's name? I know you play ogres and oubliettes with him, so perhaps you can make it out? Ah. Spike squints at the scrawl. Yeah, that looks like Sir McBiggin. Sir what now? His O&O name. But yeah, it looks like his writing, if he was signing Big Mac. The M's, C's, and B's seem about right. Twilight nods, and checks back in Marriage Without Intimacy, a guidebook to platonic love. Sugarbelle breezed in, pushed me aside, and checked out a bevy of books. Rarity frowns. So that is why I have not finished reading for our romantic book club. You couldn't buy them? Twilight asks. Darling, ponies gossip. I cannot order any of those sort of books. What would ponies say if their respected fashion designer is known to consume smutty novels? A lot of ponies wouldn't care. But some would. Really, darling, if some pony was seen with The Mysterious Merduyel's Multiple Moaning Moon, or Big Boy Boulder's Rock My World, touched by oneself, would you be wary about that pony's filthy, yawning hooves intimately handling your divine dresses no matter the extent of the ablutions that pony performs? Is it not the worst possible thing? Rarity throws herself on her fainting couch and moans. a hoof dramatically rubbing her forehead. Twilight changes the subject. Granny Apple trots in and positions herself in front of Twilight Sparkle, squinting deep into the diminutive purple pony's visage. Then all of a sudden she squawks, "Twilight! Twilight! Is that you?" "Yes, Granny." "Good. I thought I was going to be that Spike fella again today." "Is there a specific concern with his service?" Twilight's eyebrows raise with alarm. Granny Apple chews around a thought before speaking. "Young'un can't check out the hanky-panky books." "Ah," Twilight nods. "What would you like? You can certainly browse those shelves, as you are over the requisite age. Or you can browse the index." Twilight gestures to a massive quadrant box containing library cards. The adult section's box is locked, but of course I have the key. You see, Dewey Decimal, our newest librarian, had this revolutionary idea concerning the organization of information and "I want a recommendation, like how to get your mare pregnant books, and ain't she not infertile? And maybe that spicy Pony Sutra. I lost my copy when the Grandfolds were getting into things. Burned it, more like. Ha 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 ha. But now it's time, and none of the bookstores got that. If you don't got it, maybe some sex books with pictures. To make sure they do it right, you know?" Twilight blinks. "We have books that meet some of those parameters." Sugarbelle checked out several books, Twilight notes, as she audits the log of overdue items from other librarians' duty cycles. Homosexuality? Operations to correct intimate dysfunctions, a how-to from a doctor who knows. Life after losing a foal. Spousal therapy, the Somnambulo way. Clothes pony, understanding the obsession. Infertility. 101 reasons for cross-dressing. Dealing with difficult in-laws, revised edition. Overcoming cult programming for dummies. And understanding bodies. She will need to send someone to collect the books, and impose a fine. Big Mac enters the library, head hung low, an empty oversized gunny sack draped across his barrel. He shuffles around the library's stacks and, after peeking a few times, ambles into the restricted section. Later, he shrugs past a few patrons, a pastel pink Pegasus, and a red-maned earth pony stallion, and a midnight hue-horned pony wearing a barrel blanket, suspiciously bulging as though the wings of perhaps Equestria's second ruling alicorn princess may be enclosed within. Eventually, with head lowered, he reaches the front desk and places books on the table. He looks up to present his library card, but sees the librarian and exclaims, "Twilight!" Shuddering, he grabs for his books. "Let me help," Twilight happily ejaculates, and takes the books in her awesome magic, easily yanking them out of Big Mac's strong earth pony grip. "I've never seen you check out so many books." "It's not harvest or planting season," Big Mac says, recomposing himself. "Real fallow now." Twilight starts checking out the books, and Big Mac shifts from hoof to hoof, looking around. "Surprised to see me?" Twilight asks. "Yup," Big Mac nods, and he takes a deep breath. Dewey Decimal had a conference. I'd like to have attended, but I am needed here. Not here in the library, but here near Canterlot for governing duties. Still, I had a few hours, so I figured I'd fill in for old time's sake. Twilight checks out his books. Pleasing your partner? Gender? Intimate dysfunctions? Asexual answers? And a cartoonishly illustrated tract aimed at ponies hitting puberty. Am I gay? Okay. "Are you okay, Big Mac?" she asks, brow creasing. "Yup." Big Mac nods enthusiastically, putting on a show for other patrons, even though they aren't looking in his direction. He scoops the books up and stuffs them into his sack, filling it to a bulging, precarious size. Twilight considers suggesting he contact a professional, but other ponies mingle within earshot, and she already probably said too much, and she really can't step away because now a line is forming, and the klaxon is going off in the restricted section, and there is loud yelling coming from that direction, screamed in what might possibly be the Royal Canterlot voice of a peeved Royal Alicorn, and Big Mac races off. Not long afterward, a world-ending threat confronts Equestria, and Twilight's plan to follow up privately with Big Mac is forgotten. Sugar Belle tramps sadly into the library at a slow gait, her head hung low. She goes right to the legal section, selects quickly and checks out a single book, Divorce, Legal Considerations. Twilight Sparkle looks at her, starts to say something, sees the scowl on Sugar Belle's face when the mayor notices Twilight about to speak. Sugar Belle tosses a huge pile of bits into the library fines box and, with a sad frown on her face, stares down Twilight, who reconsiders saying anything. Quietly, Twilight swallows and checks out the book, stamping its checkout card with the date when due. Thank you for listening in. I hope you enjoyed the reading. Until next time, stay tuned.